Hey guys, how are we this morning or this afternoon or wherever you are? Hope all's well. Hope you had a good day yesterday and a great evening. So, where are we? It's the 9th of February 2023. This is a 2000 tick chart, the S&P 500 futures market, and the market is due to open in around about 11 and a half minutes. So who have you got in this morning? Hey Drew, how you doing? How you doing, Jim? Okay, so I've just been keeping an eye on this morning. Actually, we seem to have had this. We've had this open and this sort of slow push up. I wasn't 100% sure where to push this, but whichever happens, whether we put it like that, probably a safer bet to put it like that. Actually, isn't it? Maybe a slight overshoot there. Probably best to do that. So yeah, we've had this push up there, a bit of an overshoot there, new break. Maybe we'll make a new high, I don't know. Hard to say at the moment. But I am on day 6 of this $50,000 Apex evaluation, and I'm about $1,080 shy of my target. So, what else we got? Lead loser, how you doing, bud? Grandpa Roger, how you doing? Ionis, good morning all. Leading loser, I hope everyone is looking forward to a full and profitable day. Let's bloody hope so, mate. It's been a bit hard lately. It's definitely been tough trading, isn't it? There's no real news today. There is some medium impact news at 1:30, but that's all been and gone. And that was around about here, so nothing any different there, that's all. So it obviously depends how you draw this. I've gone off the bottom 2 swings. You might call that an overshoot, or it might be something like, it's hard to say really. Sometimes you could draw it like that. Doesn't necessarily fit much better. But I like to say overshoot. I like to err on the side of caution. Now obviously they can, you get this, it can do a multiple of things. It can come out this side, it could come out that side, go higher and a reversal. It's hard to say at the moment. Nothing's very clear at the moment. That's the trouble, is when you come there early. Actually, that fits kind of nice there, doesn't it? But yeah, it can result in a reversal. So if you call that an overshoot, 2 pushes up, maybe to a new high, push down, push out. It's hard to say at the moment. It's a bit early. Trouble is, it's easy to go short here and get caught when it's not mega clear, although it fits really nice there. That's the thing with these charts sometimes. When you do, I mean, it starts there, sits quite nice there, doesn't it? And it sits lovely there. So one would think that fits quite nice. It fits really lovely, actually, but obviously I want to be careful going here. It's very easy to think, oh, there's a break, let's go low, but it is what it is anyway, so we'll just keep an eye on it, and I'm probably going to just watch it for now. I'm not clear exactly whether we've come down here and we're having a few pushes to get, to break higher than this. It's hard to say at the moment. It's a little bit pie in the sky, if you like, so we'll just keep an eye on it. Sam, morning, Sam. Jacko, how you doing, my friend? Second entry long. Yeah, the trouble is, like I was just saying, it's hard at the moment. Sometimes when it's early, once the market opens and we start to get some volume in here, things start to become a bit clearer, don't they? But we've had this push up. I've gone off these first 2 swings, which is usually where you go from. So you might call this an overshoot. Fits better here, doesn't it? But it's hard to say at the moment. You might call it an overshoot, you might not, but it's gone up quite strong, and that would make sense, an overshoot. Let me just put the midline on there. Yeah, I'd say that's an overshoot there. You may draw that to there. But if you look at this, that is fitted perfectly on the underside of that midline. Then we've had a strong push up, and it's fitted perfectly on the upper side. So that to me is like a 2-tiered channel. So I'd say we've got an overshoot. Now that can lead to it can come out this side and carry on up, or it can lead to a reversal. It's certainly looking like a reversal, but it's very easy to get suckered into a trade here, and it comes down, and what we've really got then is a break, and then 1, 2, 3 pushes up to new high. So it's a bit early to tell, really. But, you know, it does fit lovely there. So I'm happy to say that's a 2-cheat channel. No argument there. So, 2 key levels to keep an eye on today as market hitting them 4100, which we are, it's down here somewhere, isn't it? Don't know what's going on down there, but what else we got? And the shorts. Read that again. Right, okay, you've got 2 messages there. Living a bit dangerously. I am before market open. I'm short 41.66. So you're short from here. I looked at this. Trouble is, for me at the moment, this could be a break, and we could be doing 1, 2, 3 pushes up to a new high. It's hard to say. It doesn't look like it. If I had to put money on it, I'd certainly rather put money on going short, but it's hard to say at the moment. It's just not perfectly clear. But it may be clearer to some people, but to me, it's a little bit, I'm not too sure at the moment. But if you went short off here, it's quite a small risk anyway. So trouble is, until it hits there, you don't know. But weirdly enough, if you start here and make it fit the bottoms, and let's face it, you know, we can all agree that that fits along there perfectly. And then when you start to take this up and take it to that high, look what happens, fits there perfectly. So you would say, excuse me, more traders than not are treating this as a downtrend. So make that as, you know, make that as you will. But to me, it's just a little bit too unpredictable at the moment. So I'm sort of 2.5 good trades away from passing this, and I'd like to pass it before the end of the week in an ideal world. I'm betting that we have a measured move on the downside. It's a second entry short working on right now. Yeah. Yeah. Depends which way you look at it, doesn't it? All right, to me, that would be first entry, second entry. It's hard to say at the moment. See what I mean? That would be worrying me now. So are we actually pushing up to make a new high? That's the trouble, is when you get these overshoots, they can do a multiple of things. They can just come out the other side and then carry on up. They can cause a reversal. So it's hard to say. Let's see if this price holds this again. If price does hold this to come down, then I'll have a little bit more faith in that that channel. But it is a bit early, which is why I've left it. Yes, if you come down here and start the count here, we got 1 push up, so it's hard to say at the moment. I did have some what's the word I'm looking for? Some affiliate links yesterday. So if anybody took any of those, anybody used my code yesterday, I much appreciate it. Got that 80% off at the moment. So that goes on for another, well, till the 14th, Valentine's Day. But make sure you've got your flowers and your cards before you start paying out for them. So if anybody did take it yesterday, muchas gracias. That's the best Spanish I can do, actually. Took the second entry short fairly too. Yes, it's not really a second entry short for me. It's trouble is, I'm not convinced we're coming up here. I'm a little bit unsure about this. It certainly looks like we are, doesn't it? I would have, yeah, if I've had to bet money, I would have said we're coming down, but it depends which way you look at this. We could also probably likely to get a new high. See how this fails, see how this finishes. If it comes down and closes below here, then it's just a bit too early to tell yet. So you went there, Jacko, did you? Did you go there or above that one? It's just hard to tell at the moment. I'd be more comfortable when it broke above there if I was in that now. It certainly looks bullish, doesn't it? I don't even think there's anything there, is there? Possible. I've been caught out in these before. I've gone long here, and they've come down and stopped me out. So I'm just a little unsure about this. It's just a little bit choppy. You'd like to think we're going to make a new high, but the trouble is when you get that overshoot and then 2 pushes up, you could count that as a high then, and it may reverse. That's yeah. So you took 3 ticks back on a limit, out for 2.5 points. Good on you, mate. 3 ticks back. So here, so you went in about here, then did you? I say somewhere around here, just below the body, something like that. I mean, where are we? The ATR is quite high at the moment. Usually comes down half a point or so. Market due to open in a minute. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Certainly looks like, but this could be a break. I've been caught out with this before. I've been that focused on going long. I've been stopped out, but it does look, if we can break above there, then I'll be a little bit more confident. That may take some shorts out, it's hard to say. Probably not actually, because there's a channel there. See what happens. I wanted to have a chat with some of you guys today as well. Any of you guys YouTubers here? Anybody guys made videos or anything like that? I'm just trying to figure out how to get my live videos to upload as a normal video, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't make much sense, really, does it? If I quickly go onto my page a minute, you might be able to help me out here. Yes, if you have a quick look at my page there. Move over, you bugger. See this, I've got home here, I've got live. How do I get video there? How do I upload these live streams to a video? They're only on the live at the moment. What I was thinking of doing is a couple of people have asked me if I can cut these down and just show the trades. But I don't, if you look on a lot of people's channels, they have a video in between this, but I'm not too sure how to do that. So if there's anybody knows what they're doing, I don't know, it's just a bit beyond me at the moment. I know how to live stream, that's it, but if anybody's made any videos or knows how to get those live streams onto a video, I'm assuming I download them and then edit them and upload them. I don't know, but I know a few people have asked me if I could, because obviously if they want to watch the video, they might not want to sit through 3 hours or try and filter through these. See what I mean about this? That's when I was a little bit nervous about. There's a first entry. If this turns into a failure, I may go long here because, short. There is a second entry long there, so market's actually open. I'm going to get a sell order just in case if this triggers. Okay, it has triggered. Let's see if it's going to push higher or it's going to come down, because that's a failure if that triggers. And I think we may trap some longs here. See how this finishes. Going to drop it there. Okay. That's a failure. So there's probably going to be some longs around here. So let's see how we get on here. Move this down a bit. Let's try not to be so greedy. Yeah. Try to go once, try to go twice, and that's a failure. Because there's a lot of people thinking we're going to go long there. So let me see if I can get something out of this without being too greedy. If we can go down a bit longer, we may take some more stops out. Push down. Come on. I'm just thinking there may be some stops in there. I don't know. Might get stuck here. I shouldn't have been too greedy. Hoping this finishes bearish. Oh, you bug. I took that failure there. Just thinking there may be some longs in there or there. Let me see if I can not get caught out here. Push down. Go on. Push down. Okay. Might get trapped here. Okay, there's not really much I can do here, and just hope things are. If we can break down below here, I think we'll be okay then. Okay. Yeah, I took that failure, which I think was okay because there was a second entry long there. There'd be some longs there and there'd be some longs there. So I thought it went up and come down and trapped them. So I thought it'd be okay. I was expecting to come down, but I think it's trying to push up for a new high. So I may get stuck here. But it is what it is. There's no point in crying about it. If I can get out, I might try. Okay. Okay, I got out there for a. I ended up 30. Yeah, I think that was a sensible thing to get out. Okay. Let's see if it's going to come down. It's typical, isn't it? Probably tank down. Look. Wow, look at that. Look, typical, isn't it? So that would have worked actually. Let's have a look. Let's put that back there. But was it the safest thing to come out? Probably. Sometimes they'll do that though, and they'll come back up high and then come right down. But I think the safest bet was to come out there. How far did it go down? I thought it was an okay trade actually. I don't think it was a bad trade. It went down to about. Yeah. It's going to come down some more, I think there, but it's just what it did go a bit choppy there. So sometimes it's just worth getting out. Look, sod's law as it drops below here. Look at that. Yeah, it's okay. So let me tell you what I saw. We had this overshoot here, and the reason I think that was an overshoot is we had this tiered channel. It's working up the bottom section and this under this midline, and then moves to the top section. We had that overshoot. Now we could come down here and make a new high, or we could have a reversal. So what I saw there, I remember Jacko saying he went long around about here. Now, as we broke up there and come back, I think traders are going to think we're going to bounce off. So there was a second entry long there. No one can deny that. We're moving up at the moment, which triggered. So I thought if I put an order around there, that's going to eat their stops. And it did. It came down. Now, we had a couple of more pushes up before coming down. Now, that trade would have worked okay in the end. But because it ended up going sideways and a bit of congested, I come out for it. I think I lost a quarter of a point. And in some cases, it just happens. Wasn't it yourself? Yes. Sometimes it just happens. Look at this. It's going to tank now, typical, isn't it? Sometimes it happens, so I could either let it run or get out of it. And when it went sideways here, I thought we had these big bars. I thought I'm going to get shafted. And it is frustrating. But sometimes it does that. Sometimes it just... where did it go? Yeah, see, it's gone down for you'd have got 4 points like that. But it has gone congested. And sometimes when it does that, You got to make a decision where you want to get out. You don't see, well, it's hard to say, isn't it? It could be an overshoot, it might not be. And the reason I'm thinking overshoot is, and I'll tell you why, we were working nicely under the bottom of this midline, and then we had a strong push, strong push up, which I think broke out, and then we worked along the top here. Now, I brought that to here, it touched two places. If I take it up and include that, it's hard to say. But I'm playing it the safe game and saying I'd rather say we've had an overshoot. That will make me a little bit more cautious. Now, an overshoot can result in a reversal, which we seem to be getting. So some may think it is, some may think it's not. It's hard to say. There's a failure there, but I'm staying out of this at the moment. I don't want to get caught in there. It's tempting as it is. In fact, I kind of like that. Let's see if that comes. No. Let's think about this. Okay. If that comes below there, that's a failure, isn't it? No. I'm just going to stay out of this a minute. Sometimes it's easy to jump in a trade quickly after you've one's messed around. It's a little bit unpredictable at the moment, so I'm going to let that ride. I'm going to cancel that a minute. Okay, so the trade worked out in the end. I can see a second entry long there, which triggered. Now, the reason I'm thinking that is people are going to be thinking we've had a break and a new high, and it is going up. I remember Jacko said he got in long here, so he ain't going to be the only one. There's going to be more in there. And I thought a second entry long, there's going to be even more in there. You can't deny that's a second entry long to go up. So there's going to be traders trapped in there. It triggered and then came down. But then we had this little bit of a pullback and a bit of sideways before it came down some more. So make that what you will. I thought the trade was okay. And it would have gone for, let's have a look. I got out of it, I lost a quarter of a point. It would have gone, it went down 5 points. But, it is what it is. You took the failed second entry short. That one there, yeah, that's what I mean. I think there's going to be traders trapped there, and then when we get this second entry long, I thought that was going to trap. To be fair, I thought when that comes down, we're pushing right down here, but for some reason, it carried on pushing up and going a bit sideways before it came down some more. So it's hard to say. Maybe that's like that. Let's have a look. Kind of fits, but it is. No, in fact, I'm going to get rid of that in a minute. It's more sideways. I think the safer bet to play, but let's have a look. I mean, at the end of the day, I lost a quarter of a point, and I'm quite happy about that. It's probably going to come down. It would have worked okay, and a lot of times I'll see max trades, and they'll go a bit sideways and that, but they'll work down, so it is what it is. Second entry long after the break, yeah, but there was a second entry long there, so there's going to be traders there and traders here. But then we came up with a bit, so look at this, see? It's one of those things, if you've got the confidence to stay into them. When it started going sideways, I know some traders will, when it goes sideways, will get out of a trade. Because for me, it looked okay. I saw the long trap there, but I thought it may come down a bit more. I was quite happy to get out around here, but then it started to backtrack a little bit sideways, and now it's actually come down here. So trade would have worked in the end. But it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. The third one breaks it, yeah. But I thought the trade was okay. I still think the trade was okay. It worked in the end. Sometimes trades take time. They're not all... yeah, it clearly worked. And a lot of times they will come back one leg, two legs down. Perhaps it needed a couple of little pullbacks before it went down some more. But that was the trade. When you look at it like that, it looks okay to me. I don't think it was a bad trade. You took the failed second entry short before the second entry long. Yeah. I could have got out at a couple of points, but I like to try and squeeze as much as I can. But look, it's come down in the end. Yeah, it might. I usually do avoid the open, but I thought that was, well, I thought there's going to be some traders trapped there, and there obviously was by the way it's come down, but it's just the way we had this bit of a pullback and a bit of sideways stuff. But a lot of times I see these, Marco's trades and Daniel's trades and Thomas's trades, and sometimes they will backtrack a bit. In some cases, they'll come back up. I've seen Mac take trades like that, and it comes back up here and almost stops him out, but it's still a good trade. So it's just a shame, really. I think the safer bet was to come out of it, because you never know, don't you know? I mean, 2 years down the line, I've been trading a lot longer. I may say, well, I'm not too worried about it. Sometimes they do come back. They don't all go off like a rocket. Sometimes they take time, but in the end, it would have paid off. Even if I'd have waited for this second swing after this, I'd have been happy coming out at these bottoms here somewhere. I'd have had 4 points there if I'd have just sat there. But what was the bar? 3.25 points. Yeah, the ATR was quite high at the moment, 3.25. So that's nearly 4 points if you add the two, the tick below and the tick. But apart from that, it was a failure. It was a failure with the trap. So things were coming up here. There's going to be a lot of trades thinking we're going higher. But obviously that, I believe, was an overshoot, can send it into a reversal. So the reason I think it was an overshoot, because we had this bottom section fitting lovely under here. Then we had that strong push, which pushed it out the other side, and then it came back and then sat nicely then on the top section of that midline. So that's why I believe it was an overshoot. You could drag it out, but it's neither in nor there. I'd rather take the cautious approach and call it an overshoot and expect the unexpected around here. It's a shame, though, because it would have been a nice little second entry short. Was beautiful contracts. Okay, so we've got a trend working down here by the looks of things. Let's open this up just a touch. Fits there. Okay, but I lost 1/4 point plus $8 fee, so I'm all right with that. I can live with that. To err on the safe side. Obviously, I've only been trading a couple of years, so it's going to take a bit more confidence and a bigger bank balance. If you've got a bigger bank balance, you may sit through that, because a lot of times it does happen. See, that could be like that, couldn't it? It's possible. Yeah, the reason I say it's an overshoot is because we've come from this bottom part of this midline and we've pushed strongly a couple of legs up, and that's why I believe we've had that overshoot. And then we make a couple of legs back in, 2 legs in, and then we sit nicely right on the top section. So that to me is a 2-tier channel with an overshoot. And obviously in a lot of cases that can result in a reversal, and it has. We're likely we're going to come down anyway, but technically we've had that. We've still pushed up a couple of times and gone higher. So it is what it is. In fact, I'm just going to bring that down there, because I think that probably fits a little bit better, and I'll just give it the benefit of the doubt there. Could sit there, it could come in. It's hard to say. It tends to, even if you put it there and move it, is it any better? Yeah, actually, usually the first couple of swings, isn't it? I don't know. That fits nice there, nice there. That to me is maybe a bit of an overshoot. It's hard to say. I think the question is, or the answer is, if you're not sure, err on the air of caution and say that, because that fits quite nice there, nice there, nice there. And now we've had that strong push down and a bit of a bounce out the bottom. So I'd expect the same here, which we have. So is the max payout on a PA account cap for the first 3 months? Yes, it is. Anyone actually know first hand? Yes, it is, yeah. I had a payment in January. Having said that, you can actually have it is and it isn't, because you can have two payments. I don't know if anybody knows that. So if I've just passed the PA account and I get the account up to say $7,000, I can take a payment, and 2 weeks later I can take another payment, effectively giving me two payments of $2,000 in 1 month. I don't know if anybody knows that, but that's fact. So you can have double the amount, but if you take two payments for the first month, 2,000 payments for the second month, and the same for the third month, you're still only limited to 2,000 at a time. But you can theoretically withdraw $4,000 within a month from your $50,000 PA account. You thought the retest after the overshoot's still valid? Yeah. Yeah, well, a lot of people, to be honest with you, though, after you mentioning that, Jacko, and me seeing that second entry long, I was expecting that to come down quite a bit quicker, because I thought there's going to be some traders trapped there, maybe here, because look, we got a failure here as well, so I think there's traders there. So that's why I thought if we can get below there, which we didn't to here, but by that time, after we'd had this swing, I think it was ever in here may have got out or taken the profits. Okay, that looks nice to me. Yeah, I just went from the bottom two swings. Well, I thought it was actually, but it's no, sorry. There, isn't it? That's where I went from. It's hard to say, isn't it? I tend to think it's probably closer to the two. The reason I think an overshoot, because we had such a strong push up from the one side of the underside, or the lower part of the range. It's hard to say anyway. It's all been and gone, isn't it? Anyway, so that's how I saw it at the time. So okay, so we've had a push up and a break. Now there is a possibility we could still make another high. It's hard to say, or we could come back into this range as we've had this bit of an overshoot. But this could be the sign of going higher. It's hard to say. It's also possible that there is a little bit of sideways, maybe. Could be a little bit sideways here. It's hard to say. I'm going to leave that there for now. I'll include that, although it's probably likely going to be more like that. It's hard to say. Let's leave it like that anyway. See what happens here. Pushed up and top. We've closed here, closed below. See what happens here. We've had this push break. New high. I'm not going to be taking a short here. I'm not going to be taking a long or anything really. I just want to observe. Short stops getting hit. Yeah. Well, when we hit this sideways, any of these shorts really would have probably got out, probably level with this or something, especially as it looked like it was going to sort of like a reversing sort of pattern, didn't it? Yeah, the trouble is when it's a bit ratty like that, in fact, I'd have probably had that slightly like that. And the reason being is I like the way it fits all the way under there. And then we had that strong push up then, a couple of pushes, which pushed it into this section. Not only did it that, in my opinion, it pushed it out of the side because it came out and then went sideways and had a couple of legs back in and sat nicely on top of that, which tells me that was an overshoot. And then we pushed up again, down. Obviously, some traders thinking we're going to be going higher. There was a failure there. Low, trying to go low one, so I go twice. Failure there above the EMA, which pushed up quite strongly. So there's going to be some longs there. We had that. Probably Jacko was in that, so there's probably more longs in there. Then we had a second entry long, so I'm thinking there's 3 lots of longs in here. That's why I was, when we broke below it here, I put mine. I took that on engulfing. I was expecting it to tank at least, down below this, eating up all these longs, but it is what it is. So payout is capped at $2,000 regardless of which PA tier. You're right on the 50,000. The 100,000 isn't nothing's $4,000. The highest is 3,500, which is the 300,000 one. But if you want my honest opinion, and anybody else will tell you the same thing, the $50,000 one is by far the best value. It's the easiest to pass. It's got the best ratio of the amount you've got to make to your drawdown. So, and to be honest with you, you can trade 10 contracts in it. The chance of you trading 10 contracts on that is slim to none. Because what you'll do, like most people, when you get one account paying, you'll open multiple accounts. And if you've got 10 accounts and you're taking $2,000 from each, that's $20,000 a month. So I can't see why anybody would need to trade 30, 40 contracts in a 300,000 account. It just doesn't make sense. You've got to make £20,000 profit and you draw down 7,500, which to me, just expensive. And same with the 50,000, you draw down 2,500, you've only got to make 3,000 profit. You'll make that quick and you'll be, if it's meant to be, then you'll be making money out of it. Let me just pull this out of the way a minute. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this at the moment. It's all done at dust anyway. To me, that looks sideways with a push out the bottom. Another retest of it. And it's hard to tell. It might be more like this. Fat. That actually fits better, I think. Fits on the body, on the body. Looks like the same there. So that looks certainly more of a range to me. That is, there is a bit of a downward bias here, but not convincing enough, especially now we've moved more sideways. So quite often get this when we have a big strong push up. We'll come down a bit and then go sideways. See, the thing is about failures, that being a second entry long, so there's going to be some longs in there, and a failure for longs there. I expected that to tank. I quite often take failures, and I always take them for, well, I expected to get down here, and in all honesty, that trade worked. And it not only got down here, it got right down the bottom. Now, I often see Mac take trades, and sometimes you'll get another bar next to it. It'll come right back up and finish at the same level. So just because it does backtrack a bit doesn't mean it was a bad trade. Sometimes it just does that. But if you look, every high from there onwards was lower and lower. Obviously, that one ticked one higher, but then they came lower. And in the end, it came down. So it did work. And it sort of came down. It was almost sort of 2 legs there, wasn't there? 1 leg and down to about here. But the only thing is, when it started to come back up and go a little bit sideways, and they can do that sometimes. That was an easy. You're done for the day, are you? What did you get? Second entry long. Did that one, did you? Something, I don't know what you did, mate. Was it that? Yeah, but no, sometimes they can do it, but it did work. But I would have had my take profits probably around about where the bodies are, maybe a touch higher, somewhere around about it, which it did come. Obviously, when I took it, we did have this little pullback and a bit of sideways, but then if things are meant to be, they carry on, don't they? Actually fits quite nice, that does. I'm just going to get rid of this range a minute. It does look like it's going to be a good start, doesn't it? It's a little bit cleaner. There's been a little bit of sideways stuff, but it's still relatively clean. Pull down, push up, pull down. A lot of the times it look like barbed wire, won't it? But started there, fitted a couple of times there, fitted a couple of times there. Touched here nice, touched here lovely, finished here lovely. I don't think that looks like a bad channel. Excuse me. Which one did you take, Jacko? Second entry long at the bottom. This one. Took that one, did you? Second entry long. Yeah, I just couldn't bring myself to take something like that, especially when we're going downish. So there is a possibility that could be doing something like that. It's hard to say though when it is respecting. I don't want to be going short into that. So a little channel here, break, new low. Excuse me. What are you trading, Jack? Are you trading a PA account or are you trading an evaluation, mate? In fact, thinking about it, when you took that, I'd had that range drawn, didn't I? So it might not look bad then. So look, what did I draw? I had something like that. Was it? I can't remember. So we got a new high there. Try to go once, try to go twice. Possible second entry short there for coming down. It's hard to say at the moment. One leg, two legs. I'm just trying to be extra cautious. Possible second entry long there. Failure. I'm just leaving it a little bit sideways in it. Possible short failure. You traded 4 out of 7, did you? Oh, you don't trade them all at the same time, no? Oh, good on you, mate. Have you had a payment yet, Jack, have you? I think that's what Jacko took there. After that, we had a new high, didn't we? When we had 1 push down, 2 pushes down to this. I think I had that range drawn then, didn't I? Although this has got a slightly bearish sentiment to me. I think Jacko just goes no payment yet, waiting to build a buffer. Yeah, I think you just scalp 2 points, I think, don't you? So you'd have got that on that second bar, wouldn't you, easily? If we take out this swing low at 41.50, the game's over. 41.50. Yeah. It's looking bearish, isn't it? Maybe that's one leg down. Maybe this is another. Could be. Just a minute. Definitely looking bearish, that. Let me just check. No, I think the downward bias is the better option there. I think it's certainly a bit more clear, isn't it? Touch here, touched a couple of times, well, 3 times here if you like. Fitted here, lovely. Fitted here, nice. I mean, that bottom line is 100% fitting beautifully, isn't it? And the way we're coming down from this big swing down and another big swing down, I'd say we're definitely going lower. Trouble is, this is very choppy and it's easy to get suckered into a trade here and get your arse chopped up. I hate drawing these lines when you got a downtrend because it looks like it's tilting. Let me just change this color a little bit. Nice pretty orange. That's a bit better. Yeah, so that would have worked. They're right, that. If I just had the balls to stay, and it was clearly a failure below the EMA, taken out the stops, and where it finished, I took that engulfing, and it came down and took out the shorts. Unfortunately, we had a pull back here before then. We went down, and I'd have got some decent points then. But if I'm going to get out of it, I don't mind getting out for a 1/4 point loss. That's neither in nor there, really. Can I post my trades, see if you guys agree with it? I don't think you can post. I mean, I don't mind if you can, but I'm pretty sure you can't on YouTube. I'm not a what you would call a seasoned YouTuber. I just do this really as it for me. It's just a platform to sort of share my journey really and chat with other people. So I've never seen one. I've watched a couple of other streams as well, and I've never seen anyone post a picture. You could try and describe it. If we close our eyes and sit with a paper and pen, you could try and describe it, couldn't you? It's probably not going to work, is it? But I don't think you can, bud. But if you want to, if you do want to post stuff and get some feedback and that, I'd advise you to. You might already, but join the Facebook group, Pat's Facebook group. Let me just get it up. You might already be a member of it, but I will show it you. Have a quick look. Ready. And there it is. Max Price Action Trading on Facebook. And as you can see, people post their charts. I post my charts. And you can ask for feedback. So if that's what you want to do, generally, that was mine from a couple of days ago. So just, yeah, that's it. If you want to do that. So it's Max Price Action Trading. Just look on YouTube. And if you want a bit of feedback, you know, it is what it is. You can post a link to an image. Okay. There you go. You can do, I don't care. You can do what you want. I don't mind. If it works, it works. I don't mind what you post. Preferably naked women. That's fine. You can do that as well. In fact, I'd rather you just private message them to me. Okay, 1 leg, 2 legs. See what happens now. Let me just add the midline to this. See if this is playing a part. Let me just put a little notch in there like that. So I can get rid of that. Trouble is, when it's quite small, it gets a bit confusing. That's a bit clearer. That's where the measured leg was anyway. Push up, 2 pushes up. I don't think I can bring myself to take a short here, to be honest. Although we are sort of working down. There is a possible failure there. Not something I want to get into. Although it is sort of 2 legs up, second entry short. Yeah, of course you can, mate. Yeah, Rudy, yeah. Radu, sorry, Rudy. Radu, is that you say? Yeah, post what you want, mate. I don't mind. Post what you like, mate. Okay, yeah, I did look at that, but I'm trying to avoid picking these areas. They get me into trouble. Yeah, sideways, unpredictable stuff. Otherwise known technically as shit. Took that second entry short. That one there, yeah. I did look at it, but, you know, my luck with picking tops and bottoms, we hadn't, if I was making a measured leg, we hadn't quite got there, so no, my luck. Could have triggered and shot it up there. I guarantee everybody else in the world takes that, you'll win. Second I take it, doesn't work that way. So yeah, I mean, they probably work a lot of the time. We certainly seem to be working down, but for me, I'm just trying to avoid them unless they're obvious, unless you've got 5 of them lined in a row, all bearish. I'm just trying to pick those extra safe ones. Wish that I left that now. But I think the trouble is, it's easy to say when it made 6 or 8 points. It's easy to say, I wish I'd have kept it. But the trouble is, sometimes these good trades can start to go sideways. And when they do sideways, we all know the rule not to trade congestion because it's unpredictable. So it could potentially, I think the trade was okay, especially when I'm thinking this is a failure, a short failure, and it's going up nice. People have been thinking now, definitely new high. We come back a bit, even higher still, and then push up again. So I think there's going to be some longs in there. Jacko went there, and when we came higher again, we had 2 pushes down, bullish bar right above the key entry point, looking like it's going up nice. You got trap traders there, trap traders there, and trap traders there. Unfortunately, we pulled down and went a bit sideways before we eventually had 2 more legs down. But obviously the trade would have worked. I think the trade was okay. You might say those 3 were a bit congested, which possibly gave it away, but I'm not mega concerned about them because the trade looks so good, and it worked in the end, but it is what it is. Morning, Toad. How you doing, mate? I might call you Froggy. names. Let's pretend you're French. You might hear a bit of background noise. We've got builders outside digging the road up. But on the plus side, they're putting super fiber in, so we should get up to 200 megabits per second download, and I think up to 50 megabits upload. So I think it's more than that, actually. I currently get about 50 megabits now, 50 or 60. I think it's going up to, is it 200 or 500? I don't know. Anyway, we all need quicker internet, don't we? Nothing worse than watching porn when it keeps stopping and freezing. Frustrates the hell out of me. Second entry short failure. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I thought you were supposed to be going home. You're done for the day, you was telling us. Hey, bragging about all your winnings, and you're done for the day, going off for a relaxing day. What are you still doing here? Go home, lad. Go and spend time with your kids. They'll be at school now, won't they, I think? There is a second entry long here. Trouble is, right on that midline, it's just congested to hell, isn't it? Today. Yeah, that's it, mate. Any trades, that's it now. We've got the rest of this same shit every day. Seem to get it all the time. I suppose I think we draw more of these range lines than we do trend lines at the moment, if you forget about all the small stuff. Doctors. Oh, don't you worry, mate. Don't you worry. I've seen your kids, mate. I looked on your Facebook thing. I always like to know on what's it with. You got lovely kids, mate. Yeah, you sort your kids out, mate. Get them healthy. Oh, look, big spike up there. Absolutely. Oh, anybody my dog howling? You hear him howling? It's either my wife's or him wants to come upstairs, actually. Oh, now the other one's howling. Excuse me 2 minutes. I won't be 2 minutes. What did I miss? Not a lot by the looks of things. God, it's like the same every day, isn't it? Every day. Sideways, sideways. In fact, I'm still leaving that there because it'd be interesting to see where this... Okay, see where this finishes. Push high, just wait for it. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we ended up breaking that high. Certainly looks like what they call a bull flag, doesn't it? Strong push up like that, correction, and then another push up. So I wouldn't be shocked if it went higher. Yeah, sorry, Coco. Sorry, I'm eating a banana. Yeah, I came back on later. Seemed to be crap, to be honest with you, so I came a bit later. Sometimes, FOMC days, I think sometimes you're better off trading later on, about half an hour or an hour after they've finished. Because you seem to get some decent movement then. But yeah, I just finished my stream, so I can't work out. I'm not really a YouTube guy, really. I can't work out. Got to try and figure out how to record it and post it as a video. I've only ever live streamed, see, and that's quite straightforward. So I've got to figure out. In fact, I'd like to know how to get one of my live streams on as a video so I can shorten it. Because what I might do is speed it up or just cut the bits. Because a couple of people have mentioned if you want to watch this video later, they might not want to sit through loads of me waffling on. They might just want to see the trade. So I'm not sure how to get one of these live streams, shorten it, and then post it as a video. I'm going to have to try and figure it out. I've only live streamed from day one, see, so it's the age. Yeah, you're right, Toad. I'm 53 now, mate. So I've always been quite techie. I've always, if I've ever had computer problems, I've always managed to sort them out, sort of with a process of elimination. But as I'm getting older, yeah, the little ones are running circles around me. But yeah, I got to say, I find YouTube, all that sort of stuff, just a little bit, I don't know, it can be mess your head. I find, what's the other one? Discord. I find that flipping confusing. I don't know what the hell's going on with Discord. Just the whole format of it. It's confusing. I can't seem to work my way around it. We're the same, yeah. Install Active Presenter. Active Presenter. There's an AI site that's sure. Do you know, I've looked through so many videos on YouTube, but none of them are really that clear. And the trouble is, I use Streamlabs, and a lot of the videos are on there showing you how to use Streamlabs are at least a year old, so they've had updates and things have changed. You kids, yeah. I've got a 14-year-old daughter. She doesn't do much in the way YouTube, see, but I might have a chat with Sam, a five trader, see if he can put me right. He might. So there is 2 legs down there, right to the bottom here, right from the top. So I'd say that channel is working lovely, actually. It ticked right at the very top, and look at that, tick at the bottom. So that is a nice looking channel. And as tempted I am to look for shorts, I've got a horrible feeling we're going to get a strong push out of it. Not that there is any real shorts there. Push. See, that has had a bit of a break and a new low, isn't it? Or is it? Yeah, see. I'd be shocked if there was some shorts there, but that's sort of like a hidden second entry long, but things are moving down, and the last thing I want to do is go long in a downtrend. So look at that again. There is an AI site that can short the video for you. I will search the link. Yeah, okay, mate. Yeah, nice one. See, on my YouTube channel, I can't even see what it says. Usually it'll say, I don't know what it says. Let me just get it up. Nothing's happening at the moment anyway. Yeah, if I drag my channel in quickly, it just says home, live. So there's all my live ones, but that's blank apart from just what I'm doing now. But usually there's a button that says video. So I've got to figure out how to take these live ones and then repost them as a video. And then once I can do that, I can cut these down then and just delete a lot of the crap and just edit or speed it up or something, because not everyone wants to sit through the hours or mess around. There you are, mate. Are you working at the moment? I'll need to chat with you later, mate. I'll try and get some of these. Some of my live. I've only ever done live streams. I'm not sure how to get them and post them as a video. That's one thing. And then obviously I want to try and figure out how to cut them down a bit. But I've just searched for YouTube and I can't use OBS. See, I use Streamlabs, but it's called Streamlabs OBS, and I've managed to get all my settings and all that. See, but I don't know whether you do it on OBS. I think Streamlabs and OBS are more or less identical. I think they're part of the same thing, but I wasn't expecting that. Just got to figure out how to change them in. I'll have a chat with you maybe later on. I'll look at your stream later, and I'll maybe have a chat. I'm assuming you download them from YouTube, do you, and then repost them? I don't know. I might try and find myself a couple of 9-year-olds. They probably know a lot better, don't they? You can download the live stream, yeah, and DaVinci Resolve for it. Even if I can download the live stream and then repost it, that'll get me somewhere. Oh, it's two you said that. Let me just take a quick photo of that. I'll have a look later. Once I can download it, see, then I'll figure out how to edit it and just cut it short. But I've had a few messages saying, can you just leave the cut it down to the videos, because not everyone wants to watch 3 or 4 hours of stuff, do they? Let me take a quick photo of that. DaVinci Resolve for editing. Sorted. I even tried to put a post last night, post a picture, an image, but the images are square. So I had to redo I had to redo my thumbnail and make it square. For some reason, you can't just post can you? Yeah, that's what it was. I don't know. There, yeah, that thing, I posted that. You can't just, I mean, some people post them as a thumbnail size, but for some reason, as soon as you go into image, they want it as square size. Can also trade timestamps. Yeah, that's what I need to do, because some people get a bit bored. I'll head over to your stream later, bud. You sort of stream when mine closes, don't you? So if anybody's here, when I've finished, Sam on 5Trader streams live. So if you want to continue to trade or watch something, get yourself over to Sam. He sort of takes over where I sort of finish. I go on the lash with all my women and cash, and he streams for pittance. But no, yeah, Sam at 5Trader, he streams around about the 5:30, Sam, don't you, UK time, so about half 12 Eastern Standard Time, I think, just when I finish. But you can watch a real Scotsman at work. No worries, mate. Anytime. I'm always happy to help a Scotsman. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. I mean, at the end of the day, none of us are here to make a fortune off YouTube, are they? We're just here as a platform Uh, yeah, usually late when you're working. You've got a real job, haven't you? No, none of us are here. You're never going to make a fortune on YouTube streaming, are you? Really, it's purely there just as a platform to interact with other traders and to try and make yourself more accountable. That's why I do it. Hey, what's how you doing? Yeah, I just YouTube. I don't know a lot about YouTube, to be fair. This is just a platform just to. The way I see it, if I got anybody watching me, I'm less likely to do something stupid. It doesn't always work, but mostly it does. And you can interact with other traders as well. What is Sam Stream's link? Just look under, I don't know how to do a link, just look under 5 Trader. Yeah, I'll find it for you. Where is he? Got one here somewhere. I am a subscriber. There he is. That's what you want to go to. Just click on 5 Trader. Oh, taken over. Just click on 5 Trader. And then you'll find him. I am subscribed. Sam. But yeah, that's where he is. He streams more or less when I finish. So I usually, where is it now? R3, R4. I usually go on for about another 2 hours, and then Sam streams on his site. And he's got some nice relaxing music. He doesn't yabber on like me, so if you want to go there for some relaxing trading, that's where you want to go. Maybe I need to get some quiet music in the background on here. Something to counteract my voice. If you're getting stressed out from me talking, at least then you can have a little bit of relaxing background music. I know another trader buddy of mine, Marlon, streams occasionally on light switch trading, and he has some kind of jazz on his, and I kind of like listening to actually a bit of jazz. It does chill you out. That channel working lovely, isn't it? Look at that. Beautifully. Top. To be fair, after that, it looked more like a bull flag, didn't it? I expected it to push out here. But I wasn't expecting that big drop. Anytime, mate, anytime. Well, mate, we're all got the same goal here, aren't we? We're all trying to make better lives for ourselves and our families. We've all got the same goal, mate. I got no issues. Yeah, mate, to be fair, I even mentioned the other day the Gorilla guy. Unfortunately, he charges $100 a month to live stream, but if it was free, I'd honestly say ditch me and get over and watch him. He trades for, I'm not in this to make anything on YouTube. You need to get hundreds of thousands of subscribers and views to make anything worth having. This is just, to be fair, mate, if I can get half a dozen people watching me a day, I'm happy with that, because it just stops me from doing something stupid. And I think when people are watching you, you naturally just take it a little bit more seriously, don't you, sometimes? I know it sounds like you should be taking it serious anyway, but... Trouble is, when Apex are giving you evaluations for $35, it's not a lot to risk, isn't it? Was he free before, was he? To be fair, I kind of like him. I like his attitude. I've watched some of his videos about the psychology side of it. I like him. There's something about him I like. I like his confidence and his self-belief. But yeah, I mean, it costs us enough to learn this business as it is without chucking away another $100 a month. Everything's money, money, money when you're learning to trade, isn't it? But I do like him. And to be honest with you, I'm the type of person that wants to try and get more and more points. I don't like settling for 2 points, or I try and, if I take a short here, I try and bring my profit down and try and drag as much. Whereas I got out of that trade because I panicked, he'd have left that, and I guarantee he'd be coming out down here somewhere. He took 31 points off a trade. Was it yesterday or the day before? So he's see that, and that's just pushed in and bounced right off there. See, if you ever think these charts are these Charts are random. They're really not, are they? But at the end of the day, do you know, one thing I will always say, even in 3 or 4 years when I'm more experienced in doing this, I'll never charge people to watch me trade, even if I'm experienced, purely because all the information I've had are from other people, and no one's charged. Obviously, Max charged for the course, but I don't believe in making money out of the people that have helped you. The only reason I put that evaluation thing is it doesn't cost you anything extra, but I personally don't think it's fair, because I have had, you know, hours and hours of conversations with people, and you know, for the first year I posted my chart every day on the Facebook group, and I asked for feedback and I got it all. So I've had, so I'm quite happy to pass it back. And then you're left is, yeah, it's a shame really, isn't it? Because, you know, $100 doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, we pump a lot of money into this trading business, don't we? So it kind of is, isn't it? Even if he dropped the price a bit, you know, he may get. I mean, if he dropped the price a bit, if it was free again, I'd say don't bother. In fact, to be fair, I'd probably be over there watching him with you. But yeah, trouble is people just then, I suppose it's natural. Once they get something, they get some skills and they make some money, they jump on the bandwagon, don't they? But the way I see it, I've had loads of advice from people, and I've never paid for it. People have been all too happy to. So as far as I'm concerned, as I get more experience and we get new guys coming in the business, I'm quite happy to pass on the bits I know. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, if you're that good a trader, you don't need the money from these things, do you? Well, you wouldn't have thought so. I mean, if you can generally trade, if you can genuinely trade and make money out of it, you can always upscale very easily and make as much as you want, really. I mean, if you're someone like Mac, you can just keep upscaling. You know what I mean? You know, earn a ton of money. And YouTube, you need to have hundreds of thousands of views every month, dear, to make anything worth having. You know, I've heard some horror stories about people being charged £5,000, £8,000. There's a UK girl that's a trader. She trades currency. Forget her name now. You might have come across her. She used to live on a barge. I watched her quite a lot, and she paid about $3,000 or something to the Warrior course, and in the end she deemed it as a bit of a rip-off. So when I found out Mac was charging $120, I snapped his hand off, because you can't learn a system this good for $120. That is peanuts. What is it? It's $10 a month. Mac doesn't charge for the money. He could charge a lot more than that if you wanted to. Okay, what's going on here? Have a look. Break new high, try to go low once. If we can come down here, and I don't know, it's just a little bit unpredictable to me at the moment. What are you guys biased for today? Well, I'll tell you exactly. When I was looking at that, I'd say it was up, and when I'm looking at that, I'd say it's down. so I'd say we're probably likely to gather most of this push up by the looks of things. It's hard to say. Usually, when you get something like that. I mean, I do a little bit of trading on more sort of longer term stuff on cryptos, and that usually looks like a bull flag, strong push up, a little bit of correction, and then another push up. So I'd have said a couple of pushes up, maybe. I don't know. It still may do it. To be fair, we still may end up getting something like that. It's possible. I'll leave that in there. Actually, the trouble is, it's been unpredictable lately, so it's just hard to say. But at the moment, I'm not sure what I want to do. We've pushed out of here, and we've pushed back in a bit, and we're sort of bouncing along. The price is holding here, so we may push back in a bit. come on, Sam, you're the one that's usually advising us on what's going to happen. You tell us. You usually got a better idea than most. Price is being held by the bottom of this, isn't it? So we've pushed in and bounced a few times, so we'll either crash out the bottom or... But I will tell you one thing, we'll either go up or down, possibly sideways. That's my prediction. Yeah, 5 million sounds like a bit of a stupid amount of money, but you can certainly get that. Well, that guy, didn't he? What's it guy, Vince, drew $800,000 out in a month. So it's certainly possible second entry long here if that turns bullish, but it's just a bit sideways for me, so I'm not convinced I know what it's doing at the moment. Yeah, you can certainly earn a ton of money. No one's going to argue with you there. Right, new low. Does look like sort of a 2-tier. It does to me. Push down a little bit up. Push down again. I mean, you might want to draw it like that, but either or, it doesn't really matter. We had a break and a new low, whichever way you look at it. Yeah, if you can control your emotions on here, and I believe most can with time. There's so many different bits of advice out there to deal with the emotional side of trading, and I think the answer is no more complicated than it takes time. I think the longer you're doing it, you'll sooner or later get there. You just got to experience it, and sooner or later, you get used to it. Like anything in life. Okay, so we've bounced off the top of this line, and then we've pushed under and bounced off the underside of it. So I don't know what's going on at the moment. Vince maintains his current takeover with Apex, the opponent. Yeah. The thing I like about him is he did describe himself as the what's the word he used? The reset king. So he's done like a lot of us have. You know, I personally some I did resets. The trouble is resets about $80, isn't it? I take a lot of mine now, or recently, with the 80% off, so it's $33. So I tend to not touch the resets, but he described himself as the reset king. So just because you're failing and you're going through lots of failures doesn't mean you're not going to come out the other end. I believe most will, as long as you stick at it. And it may take you a year and a half, it may take you 2 years, it may take you 3 years, it may take you 5 years. It depends how much time you commit it. I'm quite obsessive in a way, I am, but not everyone, you know, I'm sort of lucky I can trade full time, and I tend to work weekends, but I get reasonably paid by the hour, and I get time and a half on a weekend, so I can make a week's wages in a weekend. So I'm lucky. And obviously I'm UK based, so trading doesn't really start till 2:30 in the afternoon. Obviously a lot of you guys, it's in your normal working time. So it depends how much time you got to look in. Unfortunately, you'll be taxed on it. Trouble is, mate, if he's earning that sort of money, he'll be moving over to Dubai, surely, won't he? That's what I'd do. If he's earning that sort of money, he'll be able to live the life of luxury just for the amount of money he pays on tax. If you pull in 2 to 4 million just a year from trading a few hours a day, paying an extra... Yeah, see, I don't know how it works over here. I think normal traders or investors work differently from futures traders. I think you pay tax on 40% of it at the standard rate here, and then 60% of it's classed as capital gains tax, and you pay 15%. But I'm not sure. It's probably going to take me about 5 or 6 more payments of $2,000 a month at least just to get my money back. So I won't be paying tax on that lot. So hence I haven't really considered the tax implications at the moment. But if I was earning even above 300,000 a year, I'd be off to Dubai. Because in the UK, if you're earning 300 grand a year, you'll be paying £140,000 a year in tax. That's about $165,000. You could live in Dubai comfortably for that. And it's tax-free. It's also the 3rd safest place to live in the world and wall-to-wall sunshine. So if I was earning that sort of money, I'm buggered if I'm giving it to our flaming government. They spent years wasting the stuff. Go long here. Risky that is, isn't it? The way it was bouncing off there, I thought it might go, but it's sort of doing a lot of... It's actually bouncing off this midline of this... where I've drawn from top to bottom. In fact, that's probably a bit high. There. Let's get it right. The low point in the top, it's sort of bouncing off there, isn't it? It's a bit unpredictable at the moment. Yeah. I'm just going to drag this out of the way a minute. Yeah, I haven't got a clue here whether we're going... We've had this downtrend, break new low, push up sideways. We could be coming back in or we could be coming... It's just unpredictable at the moment, isn't it? I am learning now, slowly, when to stay out. I got to say, when you sit here every day for like 3-4 hours a day, I'd say probably the best part of 20 hours a week, you do learn quick to stay out. Yeah, there is a failure there, but trouble is, you've got 3 bars back to back and it's sideways in it. It might go out, but it might not. Trouble is, that Vince, he trades 20 $300,000 accounts and he uses Apex trade copier. So I've got to say, I see a lot of these guys. If you look on the payments on the Apex site, there's quite a few people trading 20 accounts and they all withdraw the same money. And you sort of get that impression that they don't get any issues with the trade copier. But I don't know how the hell that's happening. I'd like to have a word with that, Vince, and say, has the trade copier been a nightmare for you or what? Yes. Just unpredictable at the moment, isn't it? Okay, that measured moves work perfectly, innit? Right on the close. Are we going to come back in or not? They say fade to break out in the direction of the market, which at the moment is down, but I'm not interested in doing anything there, to be honest with you. All right, that came straight back in. Time and limit orders. The sniper system is based on play. Yeah, I watch Wilson v. Wilson. Doesn't he use limit orders a lot? But when I've put put a few posts on there. Some people say use limit orders, and some people say don't use them. So you get it's mixed messages, isn't it? That's the trouble. It's confusing when no one will tell you categorically do this, do that. So I don't know. I'll leave that there for now because it's possible, but that measured move's played out. So let's get. I'm not going to set it in stone, but it has touched here and it's finished beautifully there. And there's not too bad, but so there was that failure there, which we saw, didn't we? But I was just a bit unsure. But you'd have got 4 points out of that, I think. Apex doesn't make the trade copy here. It's just, yeah, I've heard a few people say that. The trouble is, if it's a rebranding of it, they probably, they don't support it, which means they don't update it. Or I would guess they don't update it. So I would say the better option would be Replicanto because of them being a software firm and they sell it as one of their main products. They would probably keep it updated and support it. But I don't see why you would spend $150 on something and not have some sort of support, or at least a structure manual. I notice I've watched a few of the videos that Daryl talks about it, but he doesn't explain so much about the problems. And I think he needs to emphasize more about not just the good things with it. He goes on about how you can replicate loads of accounts and make a ton of money, but I think he needs to cover the downsides to it. The support of Replicanto is very good. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a better option, Replicanto, isn't it? Just wondering whether you can you install it alongside NinjaTrader? Alongside Apex's one, or have you got to delete Apex's one? In fact, probably Replicanto probably help you with that, wouldn't they? If you're coming from one of their competitors, they're probably quite happy to give you any information on how to do it. But what I don't want to do, see, is if I try it and I just have the same issues, I might as well keep the one I got. Okay, prices is being held by that line quite nicely. There, and certainly here. So first entry, I'd like to pull down here, but the way things are, there's still, although we've had this pull back, seems to be moving up. I'm still just not sure about what's going on. So, and not just that, if we do get a break and a pull, we got these 4 sat back to back. See if we do break lower and then push. See if this push is higher. That'll be a second entry long. I just don't want to do anything with them bars sat 4 by 4 at a time. If it finishes bullish, I'd say it might push up, but risky stuff. Risky. Certainly moving up, isn't it? But the limit is on your Apex account. What do you mean? What the limit? What do you mean the limit is on your Apex account, not Replicanto? What I was saying is can you install it at the same time, or have you got to delete the Apex one? I don't know whether there's going to be any conflictions. And obviously, if we do delete the Apex one, can we get it back? Because the only thing about the Apex one is when you open this, you get all this shit with it. I don't exactly know what all this is, but obviously it's part of it, isn't it? Okay. Possible break out of this second entry long. I don't like it. Looks like 2 legs down, but it's just. How many accounts can you use on Apex? Yeah, 20. 20. There's a guy called Vin. In fact, if you go on the Apex site, and look at payments, you'll see a massive big list of all the people that are paid out every month on Apex, and there's quite a few people with 20 accounts, and some of them withdrawing a lot of money out per account. So if you think, even if you're withdrawing $2,000 on an account, times that by 20, that's $40,000 a month potentially. It's really not that difficult to get, theoretically. But obviously you've got to be able to control yourself. But if you can do that, okay, so that second entry long did push up, but I just don't like the way it was below there. It's just a bit unpredictable at the moment. See, you say that with limit orders. I use market orders, and sometimes they didn't always trigger. I think it's the sheer speed of the market. I read somewhere from the speed you link up to the market, these movements can happen in 40th of a millisecond. So I don't know. I see some people trade with limit orders who use it, so I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Price does look like it's going up, doesn't it? Just wondering whether we're expecting a move up now after this correction, and then a quick couple of legs down could sort of push out. It's hard to say, isn't it? Market orders should always trigger and fell. See, mine didn't. I don't take limit orders, or incredibly rarely I took market orders. And some of mine didn't trigger. In fact, do you remember I had that one live account, didn't I? The one PA account and 3 evaluations. And what I didn't realise is the PA account had triggered on a short. And then when I brought my stop down for profit, the other ones were sat there in the order book, the 3 evaluations. And do you remember when it stopped out the main account, the PA account, that stop then acted like an order and bought 3 longs on those 3 watches. Do you remember I lost about $200 on each, and I ended up getting it back from Apex? But yeah, that's what they told me happened. But yeah, but how do you use a market limit order if I'm taking a short? Let's have a look. Sell stop. You on about that, are you? Sell stop. Is that what you mean? So that's a sell stop market, isn't it? I don't get it. Let's have a look. So you've got a sell stop market. That's what I usually use, sell stop market. Use a sell stop limit. Does that stop it? No, I don't get it, see. I don't get it. Hey, Accountability King, how you doing, mate? Possible to have 40 Apex evaluations if you use 2 different debit cards. I don't know, mate. I don't know whether it's to do with a trade copy will only register. I don't know is the answer, to be fair. What, ain't 20 enough? Yeah, you should be able to make a fortune off 20. I don't know, is the answer, mate, to be honest with you. Maybe it is, I don't know. I'd certainly find out, though, before you take 40 evaluations. Oh, incidentally, if you do decide to take 40 evaluations, there's my code. Use that. I'll be quite happy if you do. In fact, actually, the answer is you can take up to 100, but you've got to take them today before the day's out. So use that code there, get yourself 100 evaluations. And I go for the 300,000 ones as well, just to be on the safe side. No, I don't know, mate, to be honest with you. I don't know. This is getting a bit messy now. We've had a break. See, that is a higher low, isn't it? We've got a second entry long. Trouble is, that channel to me looks more up, sideways and up, so I'm not treating it as that. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that because that is more unpredictable than a channel, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't want to get lulled into going long here. and have that channel drawn. I mean, it may be something like a little bit of a spike. But the trouble is, if you put a spike in channel, it makes that channel then even less. No, it just doesn't look appealing to me at all, that. Only 20 accounts per household. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, even if you're taking the bare minimum, $2,000 from a $50,000 account, that's $40,000 a month. And if you can manage to do $40,000 a month, then you'll just up your contract size slowly up to 3 contracts and then 4 contracts. If you're making $40,000 a month, get a couple of months worth and make your own account, then you can do what you want, can't you? But no, I think 10 is enough for me. If I can withdraw $2,000 from 10 account, $20,000 a month. Christ, if I told my mates I was earning $20,000 a month, they'd have a heart failure. They'd all be hanging around me. Possibly failure. Yeah, it's just unpredictable to me. Yeah. So that's why I got rid of that channel, because it looked a bit too dangerous. That looks more like it now. We've had a pop out of it and another one out of it. Yeah, it's just more this. We're getting quite used to seeing this stuff, aren't we? Unpredictable shite. Just wondering, actually. Just wondering. Just bring this down a bit to there. Kind of works, doesn't it? I mean, it doesn't have to be to the nearest tick, does it? It sort of kind of works. In fact, you probably move this up a tiny bit more, actually. That it works even better. So you could say we've had a break out of that, and there we go. Yeah, that's what I was concerned about, going long back into here. I think any longs in that will be counter trend trading, isn't it? So we got the open here, so there's been a couple of these quick drops, isn't there, that have been a little bit unpredictable. See, you wouldn't have thought there'd be that many longs in there, wouldn't you, with this sort of downtrend? So that's obviously eaten through something. Where would there be? You may have had some longs in there, but they're not obvious. If you'd have taken that one, you'd have got stopped out. I can't see where else. Probably a long there. I don't know. It's nothing's convincing, is it? But yeah, Coco. You and me both, mate. We do have days like this, don't we? There is some congestion around there, see? So that might be why that's slowing out. Would I take a long there? I don't know. Yeah, look at that lot then, see? Congestion sat on there and same there. I don't know if I think if you just went along there, I think you'd be probably going to, but it's risky, isn't it? I'm giving up trying to pick tops and bottoms. No, I get that, mate. But you've obviously got I mean, that's quite a bit of selling there, isn't it? And something, you know, I'm just trying to think if there's a catalyst, or at least to start it off. Usually when it moves quick, there's usually a reason, isn't there? People just don't jump in randomly. They usually spot something, but I can't see anything that, you know. Okay, 418 was the VWAP for the market high, so it was a battle. Got, yeah, bulls lost. Yeah, there's always a reason for it. But obviously, with us trading this system, we don't always have the answers. Yeah, just risky around here, isn't it? If you'd have called that a hidden second entry short and took that, you'd have got stopped out. That's why I've given up trying. I mean, you see it. Okay, so we've had, you could say that's hidden second entry short, a little bit sideways, bullish bar. Trouble is, I've just tried to take these so many times just out of looking for something to take, and they're just risky, and they see that one went up, what, 0.75, something like that, and then excuse me just a minute, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'm back. Okay. There is a possible second entry short there, but I don't know. It's risky. I kind of like it. Oh. Oh, come on. Push up, break new high. It is looking like we're coming down. We've got a short-term trend trying to break new high, finish below the EMA. I'm going to come up here and just hold on. Maybe not. Oh, I got lucky there. Oh, I got lucky there. Oh, I got lucky. That was a bit hasty. The short-term trend channel break. Second entry short. New high. Just looked like it's coming down to me, but well. Oh, I got lucky there. I got lucky. It's just looking like it's. I got lucky. Well, to be honest with you, we had this short-term trend channel, we had a break and a new high, followed by a big bearish bar. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. The trouble is, sometimes it'll stop you out by one tick and then bloody tank. That's why sometimes I give it an extra tick. It's just gone sideways. To be honest with you, it's a bit unpredictable at the moment, isn't it? There's no clear. I don't even. It's unpredictable at the moment. Push down, pull back in, sideways. Push down, pull back in, sideways. It's just unpredictable. It is going down of sorts, isn't it? But I've got to wait for something a little bit more obvious than that. No, it doesn't make any sense. That. On the stop limit topic, I recently learned that you can offset the stop limit order to -1 and predefine it that way. Trouble is, you say early trap. I don't think that lot got trapped, did they? Because it only went up a couple of stops, a couple of ticks, really. It's just, we're getting a lot of this lately, aren't we? Push up, sideways, push down, sideways, push up, sideways. I didn't see a nice clean setup for weeks. Yeah, they are getting few and far between, I've got to say. They're a lot less. I think if you see 2 in a day, I think you're quite lucky, aren't you? See, part of the other reason I like that is because it's sort of sitting under this bottom channel. It's always the way though, when it ticks you out. Well, that's why I've heard Max say a lot. It would tick you out, it'd stop you out by 1 tick, and then end up going the same place. So mine would have been here, so you'd have been safe there. So I give that 1 tick. If I'd have given that an extra tick, I'd have probably been right there. But who knows? It's like it's got some more sideways. Does look like it's trying to push down, doesn't it? See if we can get some sort of a pullback and something a bit obvious. So we've had this break. A couple of legs up. Ah, Django. That sounds better. Django Unchained. What is it? Django Unchained? Something like that. Oh, we're going down. Trouble is, fits, but can you trust it? It's hard to say, isn't it, really? What's going on there? Why's that working? Oh, dear. I gotta get a hobby. That's something to do while I'm sat here. I might take up knitting or needlepoint or whatever they call it. Certainly looks like it's going down, doesn't it? Trouble is, just no entries, is it? It's a little bit of chop downwards, a little bit of chop. What's my opinion of Apex? Bang on, mate. You won't find better, in my opinion. I think most people will tell you the same. Happy with them? Absolutely. I've never had an issue with them. What trade that actually worked, mate? I took this one. The reason being is we had that bit of an overshoot, couple of pushes up. We had this one. We had a new low, triangular one, so there was a failure. excuse me, which pushed up. Then I know Jacko was in that, so that pushed up, and then it looked like it was going up then. And then we had a second entry long here, which triggered. So I took that in the engulf and it came down and then came back up and had a couple of more bounces before it came down. But I got out minus a quarter of a point because I shit myself around away, basically. I got out quick. Unluckily, the trade carried on and I would have got my points out of it, but I'll sign up this week. Yeah, you can't beat Apex, you really can't. And if you're going to do one, I'd stick to the $50,000 one if I was you and just do one at a time. There's 80% off at the moment, so they're only $33. I've got a code up here, so I get a small kickback, but it doesn't cost you anything else. But my honest opinion is stick to the $50,000 there. By far the easiest to pass. Risk. Yeah, I thought it was okay. When I look at it, the more I look at it, the more I think it was okay. But sometimes these trades just take time. But there's a lot of traders here thinking we're going to be going higher. So we had the failure there. Bullish bar, which pushed up nice and strongly, and then we came back. Add that one, and I know Jacko said we pushed it in again, so it was definitely thinking, and you're thinking, then we got one leg, two legs, two pushes back, and another bullish bar, and after seeing all that, that triggered, and then obviously I put mine here on the engulfing, and it came straight down. It just unfortunately came back up and went a bit sideways before it continued. Trouble is, it doesn't mean it's a bad trade because it comes back up. Because a lot of the times you see max and they do come back up. But as soon as it went sideways, I lost my bottle a bit and I tried to come out for a break even, but I ended up losing a quarter of a point. But it went on to, so obviously hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But I just thought, I think I'm better to get out and be on the safe side than take the risk and lose it. But yeah, it turned into be an okay trade in the end. It carried on down like it was supposed to, but I've been paper trading and doing well so far, up $1,000 today with this chop. But I may well sign up for it. I'll tell you what I will say, Ross, is you need to paper trade initially just to practice the strategies, get familiar with the markets, get familiar with putting trades in and out. But by far the hardest part to learn is the psychological side. You can't underestimate how difficult it is. And the only way you deal with that is you have to have risk. So my opinion is don't put your own money in there. Don't stick 500 or 1,000 in and trade your own money because you will lose it. I take the evaluations and I take them when they're at 80% off because they cost $33. So if you lose $33, it's no great heartache. So trade with that because that gives you that same experience of sheer shitting your pants and panicking because you will have that and you have to, mate. But that's the only way you learn. And at some point when you've been paper trading a while and you get some success, that's the time to turn on the pressure because it is something you're going to have to deal with. But it is 80% off at the moment. And I wouldn't pay. They have this, I'd say, monthly. And to be honest with you, they sell a lot more of these, a damn sight more than they do when they're going for the 50% off. So I'm happy to risk $33. I don't want to risk my own money because I have done before and lost it. So honest opinion is do the evaluations, mate. Do one or two a month or one a month or whatever you can afford. But that's the best way to get that experience. I'm just going to get rid of that. It's confused me a bit. It did look like it was going to come down, didn't it? Trouble is, someone mentioned a hidden failure. I've not heard of a hidden failure, but it's just the way prices are holding there. Panicked a bit, but yeah, Ross, you need to get some practice with the psychology side. I can't tell you how difficult it is, and it's going to mess with your head. But keep your losses to a minimum, and you'll be alright. Don't just throw in random money because you'll make it hard on yourself. Last few days, I've been great. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. They have been. Don't think this is always what it's like because it's not. There's usually a lot more setups, but lately it's just been chopping. You're lucky if you see one or two setups a day, unless you're Mac, and then you see 20 to 30. But okay, so there is a possible second entry short here. I'm not sure what I want to do here. Let me just draw this. There does seem to be some form of, I don't know. I think I said that. That just could be another leg down here. It's just so unpredictable at the moment. That could just be something like that, maybe not. No. Yeah, Ross, keep your losses to a minimum, mate. Just take one evaluation at a time and try and make them last. The good thing about the evaluation, you don't have to worry about paying for any types of data fees or a Ninja Trader license or anything like that. You get that all as part of the evaluation, and just take your time on it. Keep your contract size low and just try and make it last. And if you happen to get lucky, then you're on a PA account, and then you've got the possibility of making some money. So just take your time. I definitely wouldn't do any more than one at a time. A lot of people take more, but the trouble is if you're using Trade Copier and you're copying a bad trade, you're throwing away multiple accounts instead of one. So I would just stick to the one at a time. And it won't cost you a massive amount of money, because trust me, some people lose tens of thousands. I know some of them. And you don't want to be one of them. No, I'm not confident with that. Break. Yeah, you could say that's a new low, couldn't you, I suppose? 80% off, can't beat. A couple of done crazy sales. Yeah. I wouldn't. The trouble is, people are, and I know this for a fact because I have an affiliate link and I get a kickback. And when I have the 80% off, it goes off like a skyrocket. When I have the 50% off, it hardly moves. So I tell you something now, they'll be selling 10 to 1 of those. They'll be selling 10 times the amount. So I don't know why they don't just just say 80% off, period. That's it forever. And people will take loads more of them. In fact, Apex are that good lately. I'll be surprised if they don't just give you 100% off. Just give you as many as you want. But no, you can't beat Apex. I've looked at them all. I've traded with 3 different types of them. You can't beat Apex. Their rules are, or lack of them, they're just non-existent. The only way you can blow an account, you can't blow one accidentally. You've got to blow it by literally trading stupid. That's the only way. Whereas a lot of the other ones, if you accidentally trade 5 contracts instead of 4, you'll blow the account. If you're leaving a trade open by accident when the market closes, you'll lose your account. If you have a maximum of $800 loss a day, in some cases, you'll lose your account. They've got none of those rules with Apex, and you can't go wrong with Apex, mate. Take my word for it. I've spent the last year trading with them. And everybody else here, I think the majority of people trade with Apex. And if they don't, they're idiots. No, I'm only kidding. No, you can't beat Apex. I think most people would say that, yeah. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether anybody would have taken that. I wouldn't have done personally. You take that as a lower high. Trouble is, you got 3 back-to-back there. If you'd have come back to the EMA and thinking we're having a new low and taken that one as a lower high, in fact, it might work, actually. Tempted to get in on that. No, something doesn't feel right. It's a lower high that's triggered. I'm expecting to come down from here, but I don't know. You're sold. Yeah, ask anybody, mate. I wouldn't fill you full of rubbish, because I'd like to think we're going to make a new low here, but if it pushes up a bit, I may jump in with a limit order. But we've got a new high, 2 pushes up to a new high, a lower high. I think failure might be the safer option, but I just don't know. Trouble is, we don't get many opportunities, do we? So No, I don't want to get in there. That's not much room to the lows. I'll be lucky if I get 2 points out of that. No. Oh shit, it's triggered. Oh well, okay, let's just take it down to there, see if I can get anything out of it. Hopefully we'll make a new low and I'll get a couple of points out of it. Let's take it down one more tick. I went to get out of that. Let's put it there. More than I wanted to risk. But I like to, we've had that lower high where we've had a break, 2 pushes up to the EMA, lower high, which has triggered. So I like to think we're going to make a new lower. It does look like it. I meant to jump out of that at the time because I didn't want to risk so much. It's a 4-point risk total. But I like to think we're going to... there's not many opportunities, unfortunately, at the moment. So I'm just trying to get one where I can. But hopefully we'll get a couple of points out of this. But I doubt it now. I'm going to be stupid here and just take it up to that last swing high. See if I can get a bit lucky. EMA is pointing down. Perhaps it'll just come to here and come down. It's hard to say now. I might have shafted myself, but it is what it is. I ain't going to moan about it. It's hard lately. It does look like we're coming down, and after we've had this short-term trend channel, we pushed up to the EMA, try to go one stroke. This is a failure, possibly, if it triggers. I don't know, but I just... it's gone a bit sideways. I was just about to jump out of that, and it ended up coming down, so we'll see what happens. I need a little bit of luck. I've moved it up a couple of ticks to that swing high, just to maybe give me that touch extra protection, but we shall see. That's a possible failure there, so I might move that a bit further and just try and jam me stopping if I get lucky, but I like to think we're going to break this bottom, but I'd prefer that if that pushes down there, so we'll see what happens. In for a penny, in for a pound. Wait for the failure. Well, there is a failure, but it didn't trigger, did it? To be honest with you, to me, short-term trend channel, 2 pushes up to a new high. Lower high, take that, you're in that now. I mean, it's still working down. EMA is still pointing down. Things aren't looking too bad at the moment. But there's the failure, but it hasn't failed. So it'll either go down and come down here, or it'll bend me over and shaft me. But it is what it is. I'm not too bothered at the moment. There's not much on the table at the moment, so sometimes well, it might be worth a go, see what happens. I think we might be okay. Things are still looking bearish, but we'll see. I'm tempted to just jump out of it, but last time I did it, I ended up missing out on some points, so it is what it is. I'm not too bothered. I'm getting beyond caring at the moment. Hopefully high low will fail here, we'll see. It's looking bearish. EMA's facing down. After that short-term trend channel, 2 pushes up, new high. Sometimes it'll do this sideways down thing and then just tank. So I think we're still okay. It's definitely not stressing me out like it used to. I used to feel like I got a massive tense neck. And it doesn't bother me anymore. It's looking like it's coming down, and once we can get below here and then here, I think we're good then. So I'm just not going to be greedy and just get something. Another tick, come on, get down. See, I don't want to just jump out because I did that last time. Things are definitely looking like they're moving down. I just think they need just a little bit of momentum, and I think we'll be good then. Last time I just jumped out and panicked. I ended up losing, and the trade was okay in the end. Oh shit, bollocks. That was weird. Does that mean it's going to come up and stop me out? It's hard to say, isn't it? It possibly will do now. If this finishes bullish, I think I consider myself stuffed. Certainly looks like it, wasn't it? And we didn't make a new low, so I thought we'd generally push down, but it is what it is. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. I'm beyond caring now. It's also a little bit sidewaysy congested. I think if it gets down there this time after all that big spike up, I might just get out, but it's certainly looking bearish, apart from this last bit. I'm tempted to get out for a loss, but sometimes you're better off just letting it ride, I think. Last time I got out for a small loss, it ended up making quite a few points. If it finishes bearish, I think we still may be all right. I like to think there's maybe some longs jumped in there, and if that does push down, we may get a real strong push down, so it's just hard to say at the minute. Still haven't triggered above that original high. One, two. It's only 2 ticks difference, so I'm happy to give it that extra space. Because a lot of times they will stop you out by 1 tick and then go in the same bloody direction. No, okay. It is what it is. I really thought we were going to do it for a minute. I think if we'd have got a bit lower, it may have been okay. So you took the lower high and got out for a point. Well, to be fair, it's after we've done that, it's fair to say that we're quite likely going to be coming down, isn't it? Especially after we pushed up a couple of times and then took a lower high. I thought we were good. But it is frustrating sometimes, isn't it? Push down, sideways, push down, sideways. We keep getting a push down the sideways. And that's the trouble sometimes when markets are choppy. They're just unpredictable. I'm just trying to think what it bounced off there. There is a bit of congestion here, isn't there? But sod's law, it'll come down here now. It's definitely tough trading lately. It really is. Are we going higher, are we? I don't know. To the lower high, but stretched it once. Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong, bud. I thought after that push up there and the lower high would be okay. Well, we saw, what did we get actually? We got a couple of triggers. The last time I took it out, we ended up went down for, you might have got 2 points out of it depending on how you took it, but just instant reverses. Yeah. I think the only thing is you just got to wait for those real obvious ones that everyone jumps on, you know what I mean? But at the moment, push down sideways, push down sideways, push down sideways, push down sideways. It's making a series. Let me just see if there is some sort of a trend or something down here. Range. It's not an obvious one, is it? I don't know whether it'll help us. What was that line there? Let's just get rid of that. That's confusing me. Touch in there, touch in there. See what happens. I think you'd be better off just shutting your eyes and just jumping in and seeing what happens. Took that for 2, yeah, you just got 2 out of it. It's just hard lately, isn't it? Really hard. Oh, I don't even know if that is one, is it? It's not really helping me. Touch, touch, touch. The bottom's not, though. Just wondering whether you'd be better off taking it from there. Possibly. Push down, push up, sideways. Possible. I just don't know. Let me just get rid of that a minute. It's just hard, isn't it, really? It's so hard. This is probably sideways, possibly, but it's just so hard. It's not really helping, is it? Touch, touch, touch. So hard to say. It's not clear, is it? I don't think there's any way I can incorporate that, is there? That just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. That looks even worse, I think. I'm hoping push down, sideways, push down, sideways, push down. It's push down, pull back sideways, push down, pull back sideways, push down, pull back sideways. Hopefully we'll get a push down. You could say that was a second entry short there, but it's above the EMA. It's hard to say. Could be another sideways day. Yeah, it's just so hard to tell, mate, isn't it? What was that line? Oh, that was the open. Sorry. There. That was the open. Seems to be bouncing off the open, doesn't it? Perhaps it will just tank. It's hard to say, isn't it? It's going to tank, innit? Bloody knew it. Look at that rejection. So if anybody just jumped in there and thought, oh, bollocks, it's going to go down there, would I take that one? Tempted, isn't it? I like the way it's sitting below the EMA. I'm going to take this as a lower high. New high. Try and go higher once. A lower high. I'm going to take this if we come down. We seem to be pushing down, pull back sideways, pushing down, pull back sideways. If this doesn't work, oh, that's it for the day for me. We've had a push down, pull back sideways, push down, pull back sideways. Push down, pull back. Maybe we'll get down here. I don't know. We'll see. Just wonder if there's going to be some longs trapped in there. It's hard to say. If we can get down, it's something. Might get something out of it. I like the way the bar is. If we can get down below here, we may. We'll see. Everything you take, you seem to think it's just going to reverse on you, no matter what it is. 4129, where's that down here? Gets down here. Where is that? 32. I don't know. Might even not get there. I just kind of like the way it's sat there. You may start to face down. We do get this push down, pull back sideways, push down. I'm expecting something down here, but I'm not flipping convinced. Okay, this is a failure, isn't it? Let's see if the failure finally pushes it. This finish is bearish. It's a failure. Does look like it's coming down, doesn't it? Maybe as we get a decent push down, I just hope it finishes bearish. Which is triggered anyway, so let's see what happens. Probably be some shorts there, some shorts there, some shorts there. So if it does fire up, it might go off like a flaming rocket. Leading loser versus Lancer. So I might, if I jump out at $25, technically I've won, haven't I? We just need to break here, I think, and I think we'll be all right then. There we go. Right. Tank down like a rocket. Go on. I'm going to get 10 points out of this. I'm just going to leave it. I'll come back in an hour and just see what happens. Both lose, you think? How can we both lose? If one's going long, one's going short, how can we both lose? To me, mate, we've had a push down, a pull back sideways, so I think we're going to have a push down. You could say this might be two legs. It's hard to say. Let's see what happens. I don't know. The market's unpredictable at the moment. It's just not doing anything right, to be honest with you. Well, I can say at the moment, things are looking bearish, but it's hard to say. If it does move, though, it just ain't moving much. It's just really teasing, isn't it? It's a bit sideways there, so I'm hoping there's going to be some longs there. So if it pushes down below here and kicks them longs out, I think we may be okay. I'm tempted to get out of it for something, but last time I did, I ended up getting shafted. So it is looking bearish to me. I can't deny that. I've got to just say it how I see it. If we can break below here, I think we're okay. But it is what it is. If I had to put money on it, I'd certainly say it's going down. But that needs to break below here because that is some sideways stuff. So I'd say there's likely going to be some longs there, which may fuel it a little bit down to here and give us something. Okay. Let's give it a bit of breathing space. Look at that, and it's sod's bloody law, isn't it? Look. Nice and bearish, nice and bearish, nice and bearish. Broke below there. Sod's law, it's going to come back and knacker me. By rights, that should just go shooting down. And it's bloody... Everything is just working opposite to the way it should work. Sod it, I'm just leaving it. Oh, look, we'll get a push down, pull back sideways, push down. We've got to get a push down here, surely. I'm sodded if I'm taking out $25. It's just eating all the stops, isn't it? Ah, that is so frustrating. So frustrating. See if this finishes bearish. That's been rejected anyway. See what this does. It's just, this is really merciless lately, isn't it? I've got to say, it's really hard lately. It's so unpredictable. What little setups we're getting, you've just been massacred. Did that earlier. Very sort of similar thing. Came back up nearly up here and then ended up going. So I'm not getting out of it. I'm just going to sit it. If it happens, it happens. And that'll be it for me for the day. It's just been rotten lately, it has. Yeah, you got to be careful doing that, bud. See, I've done it many times myself. You just get into a bad system, don't you? Something goes wrong, you have a few lost trades and you think, oh, it's only cost me $33. Might as well take a gamble, see if I can get lucky. Trouble is, you can keep doing that and doing it and doing it, and that's the problem. And that's where you end up. See, I could come out here and think, look, one leg up, another leg up, and come out here and then end up tanking, but it's just so hard to say. There we go. Another one bites the dust. Just, you can't take anything slightly okay. You've got to wait for those great setups. I thought that was okay. It's just unpredictable. Well, that's it for the day, guys. I'm going to knock it on the head. I'm definitely 2 trays down. That's it for me today. So I will catch up with you guys tomorrow, and hopefully we will have a better day. So take it easy, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Incidentally, if you do take any evaluations, I have a code there, 80% off. So do with it as you will.